Welcome. I am marketing expert and business coach Melissa Kellogg Lueck, and this is the Doing Business Like a Woman podcast, where we are exploring and teaching you how women are reinventing the way business is done and money is made to help you create greater impact and financial freedom, one business at a time. Good morning. Good morning. For those that are joining on the replay, hello. And we're so glad to have those of you here in person that are here in person. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to share my screen. Make sure I'm sharing. Okay. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to do some teaching, and then we're going to have plenty of time for open coaching and question and answer. And so want to make sure you get all the support that you need. We've joked in the past months that this is almost, I like to think of it almost like a marketing support group. So because it's something that we all are challenged with. And so we're here to support each other. And I'm here to offer you everything I got to support you in this time that we have together. And then we will wrap up right at the top of the hour. And I have to be pretty, if not, earlier, but no later than the top of the hour, because I want to respect your schedule. So, okay, so this is our monthly marketing class, and we're going to be talking about simple and effective marketing for busy entrepreneurs. And I say that because I feel like a lot of us are getting some, advice and taking classes from folks that maybe get to do marketing all day, every day, right? And so what I have created based on my experience is a way to do marketing and feel great in about marketing yourself and your business while having time to do all the other things in your business, serve your clients. As CEOs, sometimes we're the chief everything officer. So we have got a lot of other things that we're doing as well. And so I like to really acknowledge that balance. And we all have lives outside of work as well, hopefully. And I always encourage that. So just a little bit about me. I'm the coach and teacher and founder of the Avanti Business Academy for women. And I founded my business almost 20 years ago. And it really came for me after living through 9/11 in New York. And I was working a ton, and I had just gotten through my MBA program, and my classmates and I were all, just working our tails off, getting our careers started. And then 9/11 happened. And of course, we know it was a very tragic day for our nation. And it was a real wake-up call for me personally. And because the people, my neighbors, classmates, friends that I lost that day, all they did is they went to work that day. And so my question became to myself, if I go to work tomorrow and I don't come home, is this how I want my life to end? And the answer was no. And so I ended up coming back to Colorado. This is where I'm based. I was born and raised here, wanted to be closer to my family and really learn how to do super fulfilling work and build a business and also have a life. And so creating a simple and fulfilling business has been my life's work. And for myself, and also now it's what I teach and coach on my clients on doing. And my whole background is in marketing. And so I really have a lot of expertise there and talk a lot about marketing. And so really it's all about simplicity and service. And so we're going to talk about that today. And, really what we're going to talk about today is really focused on and tailored to those of us that are in service-based businesses. We're serving, we're helpers, we're the, advisors, coaches, consultants, assistants, those types of folks that are serving other humans. And so that is what I've been living over the last 20 years in my business. And so and what I've been helping my clients with. So today we're going to talk about what really makes great marketing. And so when you understand what makes great marketing, you can apply apply it to any of the tools. And then we're going to talk about my KISS method of marketing, which is keep it simple, sister. I think I originally learned that in English class back in the day when, our English teachers were trying to teach us how to write essays or something. But so we're going to talk about how we keep marketing simple, and then how to show up as your best self and be confident in your marketing and create the results that you want. I hear so often that my clients struggle, or that women that I talk to struggle with confidence and showing up in their power and showing up knowing that they have something to offer. I have a lot of women that I talk to that are under earning and overworking because they are struggling with how to really own the value that they offer. And so we're going to be talking about that today. And so really what it boils down to is learning how to practice marketing from a different place that really helps you. It's more enjoyable, it's simple, and it helps you to show up and feel more confident and enjoy the work that you're doing and the marketing that you're doing too. So how's that sound? Who's ready for that? Yes? All right. Okay. So this is kind of my version of the entrepreneurial, like a service entrepreneur's dilemma. So we all kind of face a dilemma. It's almost like a dual personality. And so you may have experienced this, that there's kind of two sides of us. There's like our business brain that is talking about where's the money, where's the sales, how are we going to make this business work? And then there's our helper's heart. And our helper's heart is like just wanting to go out and connect and love on all the people and help all the people, right? And so we have both of these sides of us. And so we're going to talk a lot about this today. And so this visual, this is kind of how it comes to me, or it came to me, that, we have our mission, our why of the work that we do. And then we have the business brain part of it and the helper's heart. And so all three of these parts of ourselves serve the growth of our business, but only if we're coming from the place, only when our business brain is doing the jobs it's supposed to be doing and the helper's heart is doing the job it's supposed to be doing, all in service of our mission, right? And so we'll talk more about this, but just keep this visual in mind as we're going along. So the problem that I often see is that we are doing our marketing from our business brain. And so what this can create is get us into a get energy, right? Where we're always thinking about, where am I going to get clients or get leads? It's very self-focused. And where am I going to get money? And so obviously we know that's an important part of business. We have to be bringing in leads and clients and so forth to be making money. But when we're marketing from our business brain, it is much less attractive. We can make some money, but it's often feeling very salesy and sleazy and not in alignment for those of us with a helper's heart. And so when we're thinking of and marketing from our helper's heart, we are much more in a space of service and connection. And so when we're marketing from a place of service and connection, our marketing is so much more effective. It feels better too, because it doesn't have that sleazy, I'm trying to get something feel. It's much more other focus on our clients, focused on their problems and how we can help them. And it does not have this get energy. So just have this in mind. We'll talk a lot more about this today. But this is kind of our framework of what we're thinking about. So then when we're thinking about what makes great marketing, if we're talking about marketing from our helper's heart and what's working now, I get asked this all the time, like what is working now for marketing? And so this is what I tell people is like, you can, any of the tools work, but any of the tools work. So if you like, email marketing or social media or YouTube or whatever, like all of it works, all the tools work, but they work because of these fundamental principles that I'm going to teach you today. And so marketing that creates connection with your best fit client, that's what works. Marketing that's simple for you. I'm not talking about low quality or janky marketing. It's simple for you mentally to do, to think about and to do. I was talking to someone earlier this week and she's like asking me, should I do a YouTube channel or should I do a podcast? And she's in the early stages of her business, of building her business. And I asked her, I said, well, which one do you want to do? What sounds fun? And she said, neither of them. So I was like, well, neither of them are probably going to be a great idea because it's, it doesn't feel simple for you to think about and to create. And so when it's not simple, then it's not going to create connection either. When we create complexity, that creates distance and disconnection, right? So think about what are connection activities that are natural for you, that are easy for you. I do a lot of networking, and my coach was asking me like, what are some of the marketing activities I was doing? And I didn't even mention networking because I didn't even think of it as like a marketing activity. It's just kind of what I'm always doing. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, what are connection activities that feel natural to you? And then and where you feel in your highest and best energy, right? And so then constrain to those, and marketing that's constrained is also much more effective. If you've ever tried, I know so many people that are on, all the social media platforms and trying to be in all the places all the time. And it's not only frustrating, but it's much harder to create connection that way by being a mile wide and an inch deep, rather than constraining yourself to the few places where you feel that are fun and feel easy for you, and going deep with relationships and connection in those places. And so it's really about having the awareness of where your energy is. What makes you, feel like that, high quality practitioner that you are? Like, where are you in your highest energy, your highest self? And those are the places that you want to be showing up for marketing and for connecting with other people. And so when you simplify in this way and focus on these few things, then all of your time, your energy, your creativity, your learning, your resources can be pointed towards and focused on creating value and creating solutions for your clients, and less about trying to figure out complex technology or trying to talk yourself into doing things that you really don't want to do and that don't feel aligned for you. And so that's what's going to help you get more traction in your marketing. And it will help you to create better solutions and help your clients get what they want faster and easier, right, than ever before. Okay. So this really is our big shift today, is that great marketing is going out and serving the people and connecting with them. And serving is marketing. So your marketing is serving future clients, is all that it is. And it's serving the people that haven't paid you yet. And so if you can consider making this shift, it makes marketing so much simpler, and it creates more impact and revenue because it's very valuable, because you're out there spreading value wherever you go, right? And because you are an expert at the service you provide, it makes marketing very simple, because all you do is you're going out and providing that to people that could potentially be your clients in the future, but haven't paid you yet, your future clients. Right? And this doesn't mean you're giving away everything that you're doing, but there's a lot of value and knowledge and experience that you have that you can offer to those that haven't paid you yet, that haven't come in to your world to get that focused, dedicated service from you. Okay. So you might be asking, well, exactly how do I do that? That all sounds great, but I want to know how. Great question. And this is the KISS method. So if you're doing these 4 things at all times in your business, in your marketing, you can grow to whatever level you want, create however many clients, however much revenue you want, if you're just doing this consistently. And so we'll go through these in depth, but basically you're going to keep your connecting at all times, meeting new people all the time, right? As many people as possible, whether it's online or offline. You're interacting with them and you're having conversations, you're connecting with the humans, the other people, with people, and whether they may be a potential client or not a potential client. Because any relationship that you build, I mean, business is built on relationships, we know this. And so any relationship you build, you never know how that's going to lead to something, lead to an opportunity in the future. And when you approach it from a place of service, I can help you, right? Letting people, when you hear something come up that you can help with, you just say, oh, that's exactly what the work that I do, and I can help you. I'm happy to chat with you more about that, right? When it comes up. And then the final S is steps, always making invitations and offers to drive the relationship to the next step. So let's go through these each in a little more detail. So in connecting, our goal is to meet as many people as possible. And so, like I said earlier, all the ways work, whether you're out networking in person or whether you're networking online. Hang out where where you feel in a community that you feel good, and also where your ideal clients hang out, right? And meet as many people as possible without any ulterior motives as to, are you a worthy contact or not? Like, it doesn't matter. It's amazing how if you just have a spirit of being interested in all the humans and all the people, what comes from that. And I have so many stories I could tell. And then the second one is interacting. So you're out interacting and having conversations and kicking off relationships with people. And so some people you're going to feel connected to right away and want to get to know more, and some you're not. And that's fine. You don't have to work a room. This is not about, gathering as many contacts as possible. It's about building and nurturing relationships. So if you go to a networking event and you just meet 1 or 2 people and can build great relationships with them, that will always return on that investment of time or money more than going and, gathering as many contacts as possible. So think about quality, think about connection. And then service, right? Just saying, I can help you. Always be serving and offering solutions and value. And the more that you're offering service and value, the more opportunities will come to you. And maybe not directly from those people, but that value always comes back to you. It's just a law of the universe. Like Zig Ziglar, if you've heard of him, an author and motivational speaker, said, you can have everything you want in life if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So if that is just your mission, is just, I'm going to go out and help enough other people get what they want. And I believe that that is going to help me to create what I want. And so it's really just about going out and serving people and helping them without holding back anything, right? And then our final S here is steps. What is the next step in the relationship, right? So you go out and you meet someone and you have a great conversation with them. you want to take responsibility for shepherding that relationship along. A lot of times, I do a lot of speaking about networking, and I find people will go out and meet other people and they'll give them their card, but they won't collect their contact information and take responsibility for moving that relationship along. And you don't have to build relationships with everyone you meet. It's those that feel like a good fit. And just think about, okay, all the people that I meet when I'm out networking in person, I'm going to, suggest that we get together for coffee and learn more about each other. Or everyone that I meet, online or in a Facebook group or whatever, I'm going to always invite them to my Facebook group or invite them to my upcoming webinar or whatever it is. Just always be thinking, what is the next step that I can invite them to? And it's not always to sell them something, it's to build the relationship. And it just goes back to marketing is serving, right? And serving is marketing. So it's that thing that you're already an expert at. Just go out and do that with your marketing and with your networking and with your connecting. And so I want to just check in. I'm going to take that off share here for a second. How is this all landing with you? And I would love to, for those of you that aren't, well, you can message in the comments, in the chat, or come off of speaker if you want. And how's it landing for you?
Yeah, I think it's a nice reminder to like not overthink, and that like the power of like that connection is is a lot of marketing too. I think we build up a lot of our referral. Well, we have to have referrals from like a physician. So our
Uh-huh.
primary care doctors of our, well, we see both pediatric and adults, but like fostering those relationships. And I think oftentimes we take things like into their offices and they know us, but it's like how much more of an impact could we have if we just built and fostered that like a lunch meeting, maybe more impactful than being like, here's a fruit basket at like Christmas.
Yeah. Like having conversations, because they're really
Mm-hmm.
the ones that are at the cutting edge of what's happening with your clients,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
the first ones to first see them.
Right, right. And so then to like be like, oh, I remember her. We had like a great conversation versus like, oh, I think I've heard of this company before.
Yeah.
And like the power of that. So
Yeah. It's amazing. Really.
yeah.
Yes. June's team. Yes. The power of connection, not always focusing on the sell, but the relationship. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that is what I think feels so much easier to so many of the students and the women that I work with is when we're just focusing on connection and service, then we're not having that clutch of like, oh, I got to try to sell something to this person, right?
Right, right.
But it just comes naturally
Mm-hmm.
because making an offer for them to work with you or to have a consultation or whatever
Mm-hmm.
will just feel like the next step in the relationship. It'll feel so much like a no-brainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have
Right.
that relationship established. And I feel like, and what I've seen over the past 4 years since COVID, and I think with the rise of technology and AI and all of that, is people are really seeking authenticity and real people that really care, genuinely care,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Yeah.
we can set ourselves apart and have that competitive advantage in an instant by just doing that extra step of connection. It's not like we have to revamp everything that we're doing. It's just
Mm-hmm.
thinking, what is that next deeper connection that I can have that no one else would have the guts to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for Samantha, for you, like just inviting those docs to sit down and have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation, so many
Mm-hmm.
others might not be doing that.
Right. And if I think about our like large referral sources, we get some from kind of every pediatrician like here and there, but we spend a lot of time last quarter investing in like the local dentists and like orthodontists because we have therapists certified in like the myofunctional like therapy now. And the referrals are just like endless from those doctors and those dentists or those dentists and orthodontists because they're like, oh my gosh, we need somebody so bad in this community to do it. And so we went to their luncheons and their different things and their trainings, and we're like, we're here to support you. And It's like
Wow.
that was because we like met them and they met our therapist and they're like, oh, I know who's going to see this patient and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like powerful,
That is so
it's a good
cool.
reminder. Yeah.
Very good. Barb says, my business is nationwide and a relatively narrow market, so lots of challenges with connecting with the right people. Yeah, and that is the power of connecting with a lot of different people so that you can begin to narrow in on where your people are hanging out and what their challenges are. So those personal connections, even if you're nationwide and having conversations with people can be super powerful. And I'm happy to chat with you more about that, Barb, because I know that can be frustrating. And especially if we're, thinking about marketing on a national level, it just, the ideal clients feel so nebulous, right? It's not like we're thinking about one person. And so often my approach with that is thinking about our best client, the client, one client that we love working with, and creating marketing that speaks to that one person, right? And that often can help people know if they're the right fit for what you do. So I hope that helps, but I'm happy to talk more about that if you want. Okay, I'm going to continue here. Let's see. So we're all feeling this marketing is serving, and serving is marketing. So yes, that's all great, right? But how do we show up as our best self? How can we be confident when we're out marketing and selling and meeting new people? And how can we be consistent in our marketing? That's a huge challenge for so many people. It's a real struggle to be consistent. And so let's talk about that a little bit, because what this all boils down to is connection. And so when you're connected to your why, when you're connected to your mission, if we think about our umbrella, right? And really connected to the power of the work that you do and the value it creates for your clients, and then connected to the people that you can help in that energy of service, and then shifting out of that get energy, it actually compels you, because when you do this work, it's kind of internal work. When you do this work internally, it compels you to want to be consistent. And it compels you because the focus goes from yourself to how can you get out there and help, right? Because you know what your people are struggling with, and you know that they need your help. And so when we shift that focus to them and how we can help them, and shift that focus off of us, it makes marketing and getting out there so much easier, right? We're much less concerned about what's going on with us, and we're concerned about getting out and helping as many people as possible. And it allows you to really work and move in your zone of genius more often. I was telling a client earlier this week, I was like, if we can just have you spending 80% of your time in your zone of genius, serving your clients and marketing from that place of your zone of genius, that's what's going to create so much more efficiency, simplicity, and revenue in your business. And so how do we do that? How do we do that exactly? And so it's really about these three things. So number one is frequently coming back to service. And and for some of you, if this is a new concept of connection and service energy and coming out of get energy, I think the big win here is just having awareness of when I'm in service energy and when I'm in get energy when it comes to marketing and sales. So if we're in a marketing and sales role in our business, we always want to be in that service connection energy. right? And so when you have awareness of that and you can shift your focus back to connection, that's going to really help you show up, be confident and consistent in your marketing. And really what that does is it creates a new self-concept, right? It's making more space inside of you to understand and own the impact of what you're offering and the change that you make in the world, and spending more time thinking about that. I would love to see you spending 80% of your time thinking about the impact that your work has on the world, the change you seek to make, and the clients you can help, and then helping them. And then from that place, taking massive action. We know that we can sit around and think about this stuff all day long, but until we actually get out and put it into action, we're not going to create clients or revenue. So taking massive action to reach more people, nurture relationships, and make offers. And so when I have brought my clients through this process, what I've seen is just some major changes with clients' demand and demand. One of my clients, her demand and impact increased so much, she had to double her prices to throttle back demand. Or one client spreading her message and having such a huge impact that she has gone from 13K a year when we first started working together. Now she has a multi-million-dollar business and is running a nonprofit as a result of that. And or a client's focused in on fewer and better clients, her best clients, and exponentially increasing the value that she was offering them, and being able to grow her business to over 6 figures and buy her own home. And or clients that are now charging for a service that didn't charge for it in the past. They were just giving it away and giving away their expertise. And when we did this work of really understanding the value and the impact that you have, they saw the value in charging for that, right? So that they can support their family and grow their business and scale their business in a way that serves them. So what's possible when you simplify your marketing and focus on service and connection? It really offers you clarity and less overwhelm, right? Increased fulfillment in your work because you're spending the majority of your time in your zone of genius, which is serving in your expertise. And when you're doing that, you're creating greater value and an impactful legacy. And I know that's what so many of us want, right? We want to have that long-lasting legacy. We want to leave something behind, leave the world better than it was when we got here. It creates less complexity and wasted time because you're focused on what are the things that create connection, and how can I get out and serve people and help them solve their problems, rather than how can I make my marketing more complex? And that all results in more clients, more revenue, and more fun. Like, having a business should be more fun than our corporate careers for those of us that came out of corporate, right? We started our business because we wanted flexibility and freedom. And so let's create that starting with our marketing, right? So if we think about marketing as service and service as marketing, then that is going to really help us simplify, connect, and create all the clients that we want in our business. And so as we move on, we know that marketing is challenging, right? And being in get energy makes marketing feel like a chore. And for so many people that I work with, you're working harder than you need to because you're working against yourself in that get energy, right? Mm-hmm. And so when your marketing is not coming from your helper's heart, it's going to be a struggle and it's not going to create the results that are possible for you. So I hope I've opened a window for all of you here today and watching on the replay, because I see that a lot of people will come to these trainings and learn cool stuff and imagine making a shift in their business and see what's possible. But then we get back into the weeds and we go back to the status quo. And oftentimes the devil that we know is easier to deal with than the devil we don't know, right? So, but today I want to just invite you all and I want to challenge you to do something different with this information. And so think about, how do you want to change? What do you want to change? And so if you're ready to identify the exact next steps that you can take and take that decisive action towards your goals, then I want to invite you to have a one-on-one consultation with me. And this is a no-cost consultation. There's no charge for it, no obligation. But I want to offer you clarity on exactly what's going on in your business to create the clients and the revenue you want. So in an hour, I will take you through this marketing assessment where we'll look at how many new people are coming into your world. How are we nurturing them? How are we making offers? How are you feeling on clarity on your value and communicating that out to the world? And how clear are you on your client journey and your sales process? And how are the number of consults scheduling? Is that serving the revenue that you want to create in your business? And how are you with converting your sales and creating revenue? And so we'll go through this assessment and I can look at what's happening in your business and make suggestions. And so you know exactly the next steps to take to put this service, simple marketing into practice in your business to take it to the next level. And so it's really my mission to help as many businesses as I can to grow and to make marketing simple and service oriented, because really you can have a huge impact on the world through your marketing if you're approaching it from this lens. And so I want to just offer that to you. That QR code is a link right to my calendar, and you can schedule a time that works for you. And I would be happy to spend that one-on-one time with you, 100% focus on you and your business and really helping you get to that next level. So there is the QR code if you want that. And I'm going to come off of share for a moment and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want some advice, coaching about your marketing or challenges that you're having in any of those areas, or with this idea, let's talk it out. Okay. Speaking of understanding your value, how do you differ from other marketing consultants? Yes. So the consulting that I do, coaching and consulting that I do, is really focused in two different spheres, so to speak. So one sphere, we're always talking about the strategy. Like I like to look at, what is your revenue goal? What is your client goal? And then what is the client journey that you bring everyone through in order to create that, right? And so that's involved with a lot of marketing strategy. And then on the other side, there's the self-concept work, because really what makes all of the marketing work is what you're thinking and feeling about yourself, your business, the work that you do in the world while you're out marketing, right? And I learned that from my own experience. In the early years of my business, I was providing only consulting and done for you marketing services. And I could create beautiful campaigns and beautiful collateral pieces or whatever my clients needed. But if they weren't, if their self-concept and their self-esteem, their confidence was low, they weren't creating results and sales from the marketing that I was creating, right? And so that's when I found and learned coaching, and how I've really learned to bring it all together with the strategy piece and all of the numbers and figures and the things that we talk about in the assessment, but then also considering what is your self-concept like as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, as a service provider, and really helping you to elevate and to build that part of yourself up as well. In my entrepreneurial experience, my, personal growth has been as much about my entrepreneurial journey than business or economic growth. And I don't know if that's the same for you too, Barb, but yeah, so that's really how I differ. And so I attend to the strategy, but we also are working on that self-concept and the thoughts, the mindset that you're having as an entrepreneur, and really developing that as well, developing the whole person. So, and the strategy. Great question. Thank you. What other questions or challenges, what sorts of marketing challenges are you bumping up against now that we can address here today? Any questions? Any other questions or thoughts about?
Yeah, I think like the consistency piece that you mentioned around like, do you suggest like businesses say like, okay, like plan a quarter at a time and say, okay, we're going to do this. Say for us, it's like engaging those referral sources and say, okay,
Yeah.
we're going to do, 3 lunch and learns like a month, and that's like the plan. Here's where, and then is that how? Yeah, how do you like suggest businesses guide that framework for consistency?
Yeah. So with my clients, I'm always suggesting you're doing three main things. You're bringing in new people to your universe,
Hmm.
you're nurturing those relationships, and then making those invitations and offers. So, what are the few activities that you want to do that bring in new connections, right? And so maybe that's, I usually am advising my clients to have like three things that they do
Hmm.
consistently. We're not doing 15 things unless you have a staff that's really large. But for most of us, we're either solo or small team. And so,
Hmm.
what are the three things that you can do really well that are working for you to bring in those new people? So,
Hmm.
we can try new things, but we're always measuring, right? So, for
Hmm.
example, my goal in my business is to bring in 25 new contacts each month. I want to meet 25 new people. And so, however, I'm doing that, if I'm doing that through networking or through speaking engagements or through social media, for example, right?
Hmm.
Doing those three things that create that result. And then nurture activities. Like, what are the three ways I want to nurture relationships? Like for you, the lunch and learns, that's one.
Hmm.
And maybe, what are a couple others? Or if you just want to go all in and make those lunch and learns super valuable and have quite a few of them, then just focus in on that one thing. But what feels simple and doable that you
Hmm.
can keep up with that really builds that connection in those relationships.
Hmm. Okay.
And then in all of it, we're always making offers, right? We're always, if we meet someone for the first time in one of our new activities, we're inviting them to a coffee chat, or we're inviting them to our free
Hmm.
event or whatever it is. And then if we're nurturing relationships, we're always inviting people in as well,
Hmm.
inviting people to that next step in the relationship.
Like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like to think about it like dating. Like when you meet someone that you're romantically interested in, you meet them at the grocery store or whatever, you're not going to suggest we go away for a weekend in Vail to go skiing, right? You're going to say, well, let's go to coffee. And then you go to coffee and you have a great time. Oh, let's have dinner together.
Hmm.
And you have a great dinner. And then, it's just one little step at a time. So it's the
Hmm.
same way in building business relationships. And you can have intention about all the steps. And so that's something that I do with my clients, is helping them design that client journey that feels great to them. So you're never feeling like, ooh, this is too much too fast, or they're not feeling that either. It's
Hmm.
just like, oh, we want to stay connected and this is the next step. Any other questions or challenges that y'all are facing that you want to discuss as we wrap up? I'm going to put the link in the chat so you have that if you want to schedule that consultation call. And I'm happy to help you apply this service-based simplified marketing in your specific business. I love doing that. Great information. You're welcome, June. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. So good to
Yeah,
see
I
you.
appreciate it. Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so we'll wrap up. We'll give you back a few minutes of your morning here, and I wish you all a fabulous rest of your day and Thursday and weekend, and enjoy. Hopefully the fall weather is beautiful where you are, and I will see you again very soon. And
Thank
I'm
you.
always here. Please feel free to reach out, and let me just, I'm going to put up all my contact information. So you're always welcome to message me, share this. And here, if you want to take a picture, is all my contact information and that QR code again as we wrap up. And so if you have any other questions as you go about your day after you process what we've talked about today, please feel free to reach out. And I will be emailing out within the next 24 hours the replay, and that will also have any contact information on it. So you're welcome to always reply to any emails. Those come straight to me. And I wish you all a fabulous day and happy marketing and joyful entrepreneurship. All right. I'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you like this podcast, I want to invite you to become part of my community by signing up for my Friday Selly. The link is in the show notes. Each Friday, I'm going to deliver to your inbox my weekly celebration, as well as my thoughts on the latest in business and marketing. I want to keep you in the know about my upcoming events, free trainings, book clubs, all the fun things, even some free gifts. And of course, I'm going to let you know about these new podcast episodes. I'll see you there.